So, hey guys, for those of you who don't know who this is a brand new YouTuber who's a welcome to latest member of the Jack Dodds. He's someone that I've said I agree with. He's been on SAFC Fan TV, both on the panel show and been interviewed by the one and only Sean Middleton. Started his own YouTube channel, and obviously I did a video similar to this with Dane SAFC. So we thought we'd just get Jack on and just try and have a laugh as much as you can, given how rubbish we are.
Yeah, so, given the game yesterday, I don't think that's very likely.
Yeah, okay. We'll try and cut down. We'll try and keep the language down just because of monetization and all that malarkey. But in saying that, we'll get to that a bit later on. So first of all, how are you doing, Jack? You all right?
I'm not too bad. You know, the result yesterday.
Let's take Sunderland out of it. Are you okay?
I'm taking Sunderland out of it. Yeah, I'm okay.
You know, it's just pretty much rubbish that we're in tier 3, both in terms of football and in terms of COVID.
It's not nice like at the moment. I think if you're doing okay, then you're doing really well at the moment, like in 2020.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed you were talking about, I think, because obviously you went on Fans React, didn't you, to talk to Paul, and a very good video, by the way. Go and check Fans React out. Very good channel. But I know you were talking about the lockdowns, and, you know, I don't know what, I mean, I can only speak from my experience, but in terms of lockdowns, I think that I'm an antisocial person anyway most of the time, so for me it didn't really make much of a difference being in lockdown. I'm usually an indoor person. I'm usually not one for going on nights out personally, but it's getting to the point now where it's starting to get really tedious, I think. I don't know what your thoughts are on it though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether I'm like antisocial or not, but I'm not one for like huge gatherings and stuff. But yeah, it's the lack of social interaction, because everyone needs some. It just people need different levels of it, and nobody's levels is being met. So like, can you imagine if you were a really social person and that was your thing? Like, be even worse. Like for me, the main thing I rely on is the match, not like nights out and huge gatherings and parties. It's the match, and that's what like has hurt me the most this year is not having that there.
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of the match, even for me, half the time, as much as I do like to go for the football, I want us to win. When you go into the football, I've got my own routine with a couple of mates, or I used to, certainly for home games, where we used to go into the pub in Sunderland, watch the early game, watch a lot of it, then get bored if the game's not really good. Then we tend to walk across the bridge to the stadium, and hopefully, best case scenario, for Sunderland do win a game, then you go back into town to watch the late game and just have a laugh. And I miss that. I really miss it. And I think it's those small things that you tend to take for granted a bit too much, possibly. But I miss that. That's a routine. It's not just the football. It's a routine, isn't it?
My matchday routine was a bit all over the place. Like, I referee on a morning, and that usually takes us right up until like 1:30. So it's like, just get back, get washed, get out of the match. And then I had a job straight after. I used to go to work straight after about 5:30. But I even it was in a pub. It was nice. I even like missed that like 5-6 hour shift in a pub, whatever, after the match, because it was still my routine, and it's still being taken away from us now. Where the match is finished, it's like 5:30, and all of a sudden I'm like, God, well, not 5:30, 5. Like, what do I do now? You know, and where I would always have that on my mind of, I need to go to work, which was about a 20-minute walk from the stadium. That's not there anymore, and it's that because of it's a job. It's not exactly something that most people like look forward to doing, and neither does I half the time. But it was still part of the routine, and it's still almost in a way kept you sane, just doing that same thing every other Saturday or thereabouts.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I'm a lazy so when it comes to work, I really don't look forward to it at all. But obviously, I work in retail, so we've had to be open anyway throughout the whole of lockdown, which is fair enough. We sell essential things anyway. So, but like I can imagine that it takes some getting used to. I mean, 2020 has just been a year to just write off completely now. I think 2020, the history books aren't going to look too kindly back on this year, I think. So it's just let's just hope 2021's remotely better. But anyway, let's talk more about yourself. So obviously, before you started I'll come onto your YouTube channel in a bit, but before you started your YouTube channel, obviously people will know you as being interviewed by Sean Middleton on SAFC Fan TV, and you've been on it. I think at the start of the season you were on it at least every other week, I would think, maybe round about that. and obviously you were on our panel show a couple of times. What made you decide to get interviewed by Sean Middleton? Because obviously you might have seen some, but whenever I've been with Sean when he's tried to get interviews, and sometimes people tend to be, oh no, not for me. Oh, is this gone on camera? No, not for me. What made you decide to take that leap, so to speak, and be like, right, I'll put myself on camera here?
Well, it's something I was one of the first subscribers, I think, of the Fan TV channel.
Legend. There's your legend straight away.
got the status certified there. Like
Yeah.
I've watched pretty much every single one of the. I watched the very first Sunday bunch, every single one since then. It was like it was the Sunday night ritual when they weren't live and they were just the four years in Hastings Hill. So I'd like known about the channel for a long time, and I didn't used to always watch the interviews, but I used to watch them sometimes. As I say, I had to go to work straight after the match. But I'd always thought I would like to get on that channel one day, but I couldn't because like 9 times out, because I like to stay right till the very end of a match, even if we're losing. I like to be there. I like to be one of the last people to walk out the stadium, more or less. I don't know why, but like it's one of those.
It's just ingrained in you. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's like if we win, I want to be there right till the very end, clap every single player off. If we lose, I want to be there in that moment. So it was then usually like, all right, I've got to run to work now, whatever. So I never really had the time to do an interview beforehand. But then this season, obviously with the way it's been, there was one day, I think it was Charlton away. Sorry, I think it was something along those game around about then. I just thought, well, I've got nothing to do after the match. The town's only about a 20-minute walk away. Why not just walk down, do the interview? I want to do it for a while. And then I quite liked it, and I quite liked how I had a place to vent.
It definitely helps. It definitely helps.
Like vent or gloat. And then I just kept going on. And from there, Philly, I think with Sean or Philly asked us to come on the live show, which again, that was a bit of a weird experience for me because this is something I'd watched for like over a year, and all of a sudden I was like actually a part of it. It felt a bit weird when I first joined the Zoom call, and it felt a bit strange. And then I think I went on again where the time that Matthew was on, and I would love to keep coming on. But I think, to be honest with you, it was more like I've always watched the channel, and any opportunity I can get to be involved in it, I'll take. And then as for making my own channel, well, Paul invited me on Fans React. He said, if you've got an idea and you can go there. And I thought, well, as it goes, I've had this idea for quite a while of like a preview show, roughly 30 to 40 minutes. But having an opposition fan on and a Sunderland fan, and having a bit of debate and actually trying to make it somewhat informative with the opposition fan on, trying to find out theirs, because that's something. Yeah. I mean, like we played Wigan yesterday. If I didn't speak to Jay, the Wigan fan, I would have no idea like what formation they're looking to play, like who their key players are, where the weak points are, etc., etc. And that's the same for every game. But at least now when I go into it and go, like Burton, for example, Charles Vernon scored for them. Dave Child, who had him from Burton, pointing them out specifically, but he's probably our best player, probably our biggest goal threat. And then I made the episode on Fans React, and then I thought, well, actually, I'm gonna do this myself, and I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna run with the idea, and it's still going.
Exactly. Well, you've already got a kind of few decent guests already. You've already got Danny Collins and Tom White, which, considering you've only started, I think, a few weeks now you've had it.
The Doncaster game was my first one, so that's
that's actually 3 weeks ago. But about 2-3 weeks ago anyway. But that's pretty impressive going. And was starting a YouTube channel something you thought about doing for a while? Once you start, I think if I was in that situation, probably I'm looking at, oh, there's that channel, there's that one. Oh, let's go for it. Let's just see what happens. Because, like I said before, putting yourself out on the internet, and especially putting a video of yourself where people now know what you look like, is not the easiest thing to go and do. But the advice I've always tried to give when people have asked us whether to start a YouTube channel is, if you really want to do it, go and do it.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping you.
I think there's a lot. It's a big community that we're a part of. Like, there's a lot of Sun and YouTube channels. There's a lot of people involved in it. I mean, there's 2 fan channels now. There's obviously yourself, Giles, you've had a mistake. Jamsani, the list goes on and on.
In SAFC as well, you know.
Yeah. I didn't want to go on the risk because I knew I would miss someone, but like he's another.
Yeah.
one.
Oh no, I corrected you. Don't worry, it's all right.
I mean, there's probably more that we're missing. Who might even be quite big, but we just missed. So it's quite a saturated area, it's quite a saturated community. So it is probably quite difficult to get into. As have I always thought about doing it? Well, when I was about like 12 or 13, I made like a few videos of us like playing FIFA and like doing crossbar challenges and things. But like that was just, it was nothing special. Like it was just me mates watching really.
Yeah.
But I guess I've always kind of had that interest of it, of like video making and editing, and I've always like talking and speaking. Probably something people have picked up on, Michael. I think you're pretty similar in that
Yeah.
regard.
Well, I tend to go on for about 5 minutes at a time, but won't go there.
Yeah. And as for, did I have any concerns? Not really. I mean, people are going to have their opinions all the time. If it does grow and if it does, if it does grow, which is what I'm hoping it's going to do, then of course the more people are going to find out about it, the more people are going to have negative reactions but it's positive. And there's probably people sat watching it right now who don't like it or who would say it if the sailors would say something. But to be honest, I don't hold their opinion in high regard, because unless there's a real serious issue there, I don't think it's worth considering. It's, if you don't like the content, there's no need to watch it. And if you're putting yourself through content that you don't even like, and you're involving yourself in that, well, that's only going to have a negative impact on your mindset. And there's no problem if you don't enjoy it. Quite simply, just don't watch it. So I guess I'm not really too concerned about whatever negative response there might be. People know and see me face, because I'm just doing what I want to do, and I know that I'm in no way, shape or form harming anyone else in doing so. Everyone who comes on wants to come on. It's voluntary. If anyone, there's a couple of times I've asked people to come on, they've been like, "Oh no, not for me." And that's fine. I'm not doing anything to hurt anyone. So to me, if anyone's negative opinion is, well, if you don't like it, then don't watch.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, and I think that's how it should be. I mean, SAFC Fan TV is a prime example where there's been a lot of people that tend to have looked down on the idea of doing a channel like that.
Yeah.
But for me, the way I look at it, if you don't like it, just simply don't watch it. There's no, and I don't have a problem with people not watching, say myself, or watching SAFC Fan TV, as long as they understand that, okay, it's not for me, but it's great that other people like to watch it. If they have that mindset, no problem whatsoever. Absolutely no issue.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 2,000 subscribers. SAFC Fan TV is closing on 5,000. Clearly, there is an audience there is an audience for this. People like it. They want to watch it. And why should minority people who don't want to watch it take away something from the people who did? Like, it sounds daft, but if yours and the Fan TV channel, just an example, to stop tomorrow, there'd be a lot of people who would miss it. Like, because clearly it's something that so many people want to watch. So, like, if you don't want to watch it, why ruin it for the other people who do want to watch it?
Yeah, completely agree with that mindset, and it's just one that just gets underestimated. I think that one of the things that struck me, and the one of the things I would say to you, that obviously if you want your content to grow, like, look, I mean, you probably put more effort into your videos than I do. I just sit in front of my phone, record for 5 minutes, and upload it. But the thing is, I've been privileged enough to somehow get the 2,000 subscribers, but it took me probably, I mean, I started doing regular videos on this channel since like 2015, so 5 years ago. It was probably only 3.5 to 4 years ago that I really started to properly get noticed. Well, somewhat noticed anyway. But the best thing I would say to you is just keep pumping content out. And to be honest, the content you're doing at this stage of your channel is a lot better than probably what mine was at this point of my channel. So I would say just keep it consistent, keep yourself in the public eye, and keep going, and just keep doing good content, which you seem to be at the minute. So
yeah, I think those channels we are quite different though, where yours is more just it's you and your opinion of the match, whereas I think I'm trying to take that in a slightly different direction, not because I think it's better, but just because I think it's something.
No, it offers something new to the table, doesn't it?
It's something new,
that's not my sort of thing, hosting it, because I tried a podcast many years ago and it didn't work very well. But it just was, I'm probably not that good at it. Whereas I could see you being a good pod host, and I think that a lot of the
a lot of podcasts. So
sorry,
If I wasn't, I've watched a lot of podcasts, so if I wasn't, it'd be a serious problem.
No, don't worry. I think a lot of the things is, if you look at, like, say, Jam Sarni, Mad Mistake, myself, obviously, yourself, Thane. Thane's is quite similar to mine, but I'd like to think he does it in a good way as well. I think he's very underrated. There's a lot of Jalsey as well. There's a lot of different Conor Bromley as well. There's another one. SCFC David. There's a few of them. There's different sort of styles and different presentations of people on some YouTube, and that's one of the things I'm actually quite proud of with the SFC YouTube community there. And Fans React, SAFC Fan TV. There's tons of them. There's literally tons of people that you could go to and say, oh, you know what, actually, that's not half bad. You know, and if you don't like, and if this isn't your cup of tea, then there's this. If that's not what you like, then there's this. There's loads. That's one of the things I'm quite happy about. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm being just biased here, but I can't think of many other fan bases that have got probably this much variety of content.
No,
probably Sunderland. Sunderland's got to be up there with one of the most varied content on YouTube.
I mean, I don't really watch many other like fans of other channels. I've watched a few, but like not.
There'll
loads.
be some that have loads. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, even the Fan TV alone, when you look at the different people on there, like the opinions tend to be so vast, and like even people's backgrounds, I feel is probably quite different. Like that in itself has got so much variety, and as a one channel, within that one channel is part of this bigger community, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. This is. I'm going to try and split this video up just to make sure that it's not too long for upload. So this is the end of this bit, and the next bit we'll get to depressing ourselves, talking about the current state of our beloved club. I can see Jack's reaction already. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this bit, and the next bit will be up in the next couple of days. Take care.